Good morning, brothers and sisters. You know, I guess some of these videos could be pretty scary for people that don't really know Christ, that really aren't seeking God, that really aren't trying to seek comfort from the Holy Spirit. And I guess what I mean by that is, we should be rejoicing, that we are alive in such a crazy, crazy time. Prophesied since the beginning of time. In those last days starts in Genesis. You got prophecies back in Genesis, okay? Some of you understand the book of Enoch. That's another story. It even goes back further. But I think what I'm trying to say today is, I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing many hats today, but more importantly, I guess I'm going to wear the hat of a military strategist. And in regards to God's prophecies, okay? So, throughout time, nations have invaded nations, nations have attacked nations, nations have destroyed peoples on certain days of the month. I guess almost like to put salt in the wound, so to speak, And it's interesting that we're in the 5th month of the Hebrew calendar, Av, okay? Starts tomorrow, okay? The month of Av begins tomorrow. And so, what does that mean? Well, it means that the month of Av contains 3 weeks of destruction and renewal throughout the history of Israel. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, invasion of the first temple occurred on the 7th of Av, which is our July 24th. But both temples were destroyed on the 9th of Av, Tish B'Av, okay? Which is the 26th of July. Okay? Tu B'Av, which is the 1st of August, is a ceremony where the damsels, the virgins, would go out and seek a husband in this ritual, where the husbands would go find them. So, let's just do this. This is a drill. This is a drill. Until you are otherwise notified that this is not a drill, this is a drill. I'm asking everybody who watches my videos. I'm asking everybody who is into what we're talking about, or even just curious, or even you survivalists who are checking this out, trying to get some extra info because you know something's going down and you might think this can help you. Look, for the next 30 days, you need to be on high alert. For the next 30 days, you need to be on high alert. For the next 30 days, you need to be on high alert, okay? And what I mean by that is, if there was ever a time in the history of mankind where all prophecies of latter days, end times could converge to one point, it's in this month. Okay? No man knows the hour or the day of the return of Jesus Christ, but we know the season, and we are deep in the middle of it. Summer is nigh. The leaves are shooting forth from the branch, okay? If you don't know what I'm saying, I'm just entertaining you, and thank you anyway. You know what I mean? This is on. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, for the next 30 days, if you live in Manhattan, you live in southern Florida, where all the Jews are retired, you live in Washington, D.C., you need to prepare every day to meet your Maker. If you live in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Lockheed, NASA, San Diego, near the fault line, Los Angeles, where all the Jews and and even some who say they are Jews but in the synagogue of Satan live, you need to prepare every day to meet your maker. Okay? Because as a military strategist, you're dead meat. I'm dropping heat. Okay? I'm not going to touch the middle of the country. Because as a military strategist, when it's all said and done, I would hope to come here and grow wheat and rice and corn and soybeans and cotton and all those things that my country would need to get paid back their money since you didn't pay me when I asked you. Okay? Or I would grow bread for a people in Moscow that hate your guts because you stuck it in their eye, and now they're hungry and they want Wonder Bread. And this is what I'm talking about. If you don't understand what the New Madrid fault's about, and that those bombs on that side, and if you don't understand what the San Andreas fault is about, and those bombs on this side, then God help you. Okay? So what am I saying? This is a drill. This is a drill. Go to Walmart. Go to Costco. Go to Target. Spend a couple $100. Spend what you would spend on a night at the bar with the boys on water and non-perishable food. Why? Because if you're smart and you got a tank of gas like some of my brothers and sisters, you're going to need to get as far away from these places as possible. If you can. Okay? There will be a point in time where it will be apparent. Okay? When you see Israel surrounded by armies, when you see them ready to go in, and when you see Hillary up there thumbing it up at the Islamic dudes, you better know the next thing they're going to do is snap 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off on us. Okay? Jesus says get high, get elevated, because it's going to suck. It's going to suck, and you're going to be trying to breathe. That's how bad it's going to be. Okay? So what I'm saying is we're just finishing 3 weeks of fasting and mourning for Israel. Okay? And in Tish B'Av on the 9th, the temple is destroyed. So we got many likely scenarios that we're looking at in this drill. Okay? I mean, this thing cracks off so bad that in the next day or two, you could have an all-out nuclear war, the dust will clear, and they can have the abomination which maketh desolate setteth up in the temple by the 9th. Is that going to happen? I have no idea. Can it happen? Oh yeah, read the Bible. Okay? So what I'm asking you to understand is the Great Tribulation could begin in the month of Av. There's many prophecies. You know, there's a rabbi who was 109 or something on his deathbed. He said, you know, I'm going to list the name of the Messiah. You open it up in 1 year. And then they opened it up a year after his death. He said the Messiah is Yeshua, Jesus. And he said something crazy, that Yitzhak Rabin would die and then the rapture would come. Do I believe it? I don't know. This guy was a Hebrew scholar his whole life. He was a Jewish priest his whole life. Probably hated Jesus half his whole life to the end. And I don't know what Satan could do, but I know what God could do. He could give us information. So you have to just trust yourself. You have to trust your soul. And you have to make your soul right by God. Me, I'm just preparing every day like it's the last. Every day. Matter of fact, Av starts tomorrow. I'm going to Walmart today. I'm going to load the car up with plenty of water. It's full of gas right now. And I have plenty of that non-perishable rice that lasts 2 years from Trader Joe's up in that bad boy. Okay? Because if you've been practicing, if you've been mourning and fasting for the last 3 weeks, you ain't tripping on you ain't got no food. And you will make 12 bags of rice go 12 weeks. Okay? You gotta be prepared. This is Navy SEAL status right here. Only the strong will survive. And that strength is a foundation in Jesus Christ. An understanding of what God has in store for you, and an understanding of how the Holy Spirit will work with you through your intuition, through meditation, through prayer, through common sense that says, look at the world right now. You remember Google Tonkin Bay. Read that and know that's true. And now look at this ship, this little boat, this pleasure cruiser that sped on a suicide mission. Not that it was a suicide mission with the bomb, but on a suicide mission. Because if you come near one of our ships, that 50 cal is going to bust you off. Okay? And if you get closer, then phalanxes are going to go off on a real ship. That was a USNS ship. Okay? That was a ship full of a bunch of merchant sailors and a couple of guys who could run a 50 cal. Okay? That was a drill. That was a test. That was to let America know, hey, guess what? You're under attack. Guess what? We could push this a little further. They're setting you up, people. Barack is about to be the 10th king, and he's doing it with Putin. He's doing it with the Chinese. Why do you think them Chinese got all them cities just empty, waiting to be inhabited? Because we got some targets over there they're giving up for the global surrender when the gods come down and massacre the temple. Not necessarily destroying it, but desolating it by building it back up without the tabernacle, without the ark, without the art on the walls, without the priests in the temple giving the oblation and the sacrifice. That's destruction. Destruction of the soul. So people, I'm asking you, if you have any idea that you're a Christian, if you have any thoughts that you believe in the one God of Abraham, give him 30 days. Give him 30 days and see what it's really like. This is a drill. But at any moment, this could pop off into full alert. General quarters. Okay? Speculation? Yes. Theory? Yes. Prophecy? Definitely yes. It's all coming, and I need to speculate based on my knowledge of prophecy, and I need to be theoretical about scenarios and likelihoods so that I can be prepared every moment. If you're not doing this, man, if you've listened to all my videos and you're still not doing it, this is just entertaining for you. And you guys sitting back having a great one. And hey, I'm glad because at that moment you got enough information. But for those of you who really listen, for those of you who are really trying to do the right thing, you need to give it 30 days, man. You got to give it 30 days, okay? Av, a period of time between the straits, during which many calamities befell the Jewish people. Okay, both temples were destroyed during this period, and the sages established this extended period of time of mourning for the Jewish people. Okay, typically marriages are not held during this period, and many Jews deliberately refrain from ostensibly pleasurable activities such as listening to music, dancing, taking vacation. That's all tradition. Okay, but you need to know that marriage stuff ends on the 15th of July, on the 1st of July, which is the 15th of Av, okay? That's when the virgins go out to meet their bride. So, the return of Christ, no man knows the hour or the day. But the bride could be collected on the 15th. Prepare yourself, okay? The kingdom of heaven is like when the guy went to Home Depot and he hired homie at $100 for the day at 6 o'clock in the morning. And he went back at noon and he hired another homie. Said, come over here, I'm working my field, I'll give you a day's pay. Went back at 4 in the afternoon, hired another homie. Hey, come back to my field, I'll give you a day's pay. Went out at 8 o'clock, right as the sun was going down, hired another homie, help these dudes clean up, I'll give you a day's pay. And at the end of the day, they all receive the same amount. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late for you to just put it down for 1 month. How insane are we that a creator, the king of the universe, who's been crying for our obedience, crying for our loyalty, crying for us to wake up to the world we live in, and just give him a month. Could be the best month of your life. If not, if anything, and I was telling baby mama because she's tripping on me, man. Trust me. She says, in 2013, when Barack was elected president, are you still going to be the same way? I say, of course, I can never go back given the joy and the beauty and the peace that I've experienced over the last few months. Okay? You've all witnessed it. If you've been watching me, you've understood where I've come. Okay? So all this stuff, I mean, I got on the light rail yesterday and I was like, wow. I needed an icebreaker for this hardcore dude. And I said, wow. I looked at him. I said, you know how hard it is to witness to crackheads? Because I had just got done for 4 minutes trying to determine if this dude was so blasted out of his mind that he couldn't comprehend that only Jesus could save him, or that there was still some sense of self left in his mind that he could grasp this concept and reach up and obtain the healing and the salvation necessary that every crackhead deserves. Okay? So, what's your crack? What's your crack? Is it women? If it ain't that, is it pornography? Is it the alcohol that's necessary to forget that you're who you are and you need to get right by God so that that guy's lovable enough to just deal with sober? Or that girl? Is it, is it the vanity of having people think you're somebody, so you're leveraging every dollar you have so that you maintain an outward appearance of success while meanwhile you're going to bed at night wondering, am I going to be a crackhead tomorrow? I don't know what it is. I know what it was for me, and I know what it isn't for me. Okay? So, if you live in some of the areas that I didn't discuss as far as nuclear targets, I even think Arizona might even be a target because everybody's moving there to think that they're safe from the tsunami to come. Okay? So, if you're into all this, if you're into military strategy, you want to get them. You want to just get them and hurt them, And how many retired Jews live in Arizona? Think about this. These are evil people, man. Evil people plotting to simultaneously destroy America, yet at the same time kill as many Jews as possible because that's just second nature to them. Okay? So, the month of Av begins tomorrow, and it ends on the 16th of July. That's 30 days. That's a lunar. Okay? Get on the 30-day plan. Let's change your life. Let's change our lives. Continuously changing my life every day. My life changes every day. My life gets better every day that I become more and more less me and more a slave to Jesus and hopefully a chaste virgin when he returns. Okay? That's what I'm working on. Okay? The physical sinning is easy, folks. You just got to realize it's nonsense, and that's common sense. And then you get into the sins of the mind, the sins of the flesh, the desire. Okay? It's been a couple of months now. I still can look at a woman, and those thoughts will come into my head, and they're not right. It's not right. It's the cart before the horse. Who is the human you want to interact with? And then decide if that is necessary. Then decide if that's appropriate as a mutual understanding. Not a one-sided mental attack in the flesh. Work on these things, people. Work on these things. Okay? The new moon. For all you astrologer astronomers, that's when the month of Av begins, and it ends the day before the new moon on the 17th. Okay, so you can see the situation right now with Syria, and we're gonna bomb it, folks. We're gonna throw heat on them. We're gonna invade them like Iran, like they don't want us to. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna throw heat, because how many times do I have to tell you to not mess with my little brother until I don't care if you kill me, I'm gonna bust you up. I don't care if you retaliate. I'm sick of being pushed around by you. I'm gonna take you out, and if I don't take you out, at least I will die trying. This is human nature. This is the flesh. This is how men think. Okay? Think about it, people. There is a point in time where every mother would die for her kid for the most part. There's a point in time where every father would defend his son to the death for the most part. Every brother would die for his brother in a perfect world. That's true. If you really have love in your family, that is true. If you're a bunch of psychopaths living for yourselves and stealing from your own mothers and brothers and sisters, you let them die. And that's Satan. Okay? So, 30 days, the month of Av. Just do some homework. Some of the things I said. Look. It makes perfect sense to me and a bunch of homies. When I break it down to the homies, to the street thugs, to the dudes with the tattoos on the street about how Barack Obama's about to gank this bad boy, they're like, dang, yeah, because they get it, because they know human nature at its core. All of you who are just so disassociated with this idea, I'm surprised you're even listening. Okay? Those of you who know these people, you need to tell these people. I mean, take God out of it. This world is about to go to World War III right now, right in front of our eyes. And you put God in it, and He's laid out the game plan. I've tried to lay this game plan out in all these past lectures, and today I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? And it seems that the message of the day is prepare for war. You don't need any scriptures to prepare for war. You just need to put it in your mind. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen in Washington State when there's no power? What's going to happen in Boise, Idaho when there's no power? When there's no power to run the pumps for the water? Okay? How many people even know that you need power to have water? That water don't come out of your tap unless there's electricity pumping it, okay? Wake up, people. Wake up. This is a drill. This is a drill. Until further notified, this is a drill. Okay? Do your homework in the month of Av. Do your homework. This God works on His calendar, okay? And the enemy likes to use his calendar to make the point time and time again. This is your day. You want this day? We're going to do it again on this day. And we're going to do it again on this day. I don't know if it's that day. And I don't know when the day Jesus comes. I don't know the hour He comes. I know the season. We're in it. I'm looking. I'm saying, prepare. Okay? Prepare. Prepare. God bless you.